Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another Beard Guys video. My name's Ben and today we are taking a look at the patch notes for PUBG Console for Season 11. Now, I already did a video going through the patch notes for Season 11 for PUBG PC when those went out last week, so I won't go over everything in massive detail. If you want to go through them a bit more in depth, I'll put a link to that video down in the description below, but there are some unique features in the console patch notes, so I thought it was worth covering that today. They aren't packed full of surprises. I think a few of us were hoping that maybe we might see some changes come in for console that weren't on the PC patch notes. There's often one or two little things that they do put on there that can sometimes be a bit of a surprise, but there weren't really any major surprises in these. The main change that you're going to see compared to PUBG on PC for Season 11 is the addition of the wheel widget, which we will take a look at in-game in just one moment. On top of that, there is all the stuff that was also on PC and is available on the live servers on PC now. For console, this update goes out on Thursday, so that's the 8th of April this week. It's the normal sort of time, so if you're in Europe, it's going to be kind of late morning, lunchtime-ish. If you're in America, it's going to be late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, depending on whereabouts you are. It does have the time zones on the patch notes if you want to try and figure out what it is where you live. So we have some changes to the ranked reward system. You can read through those in your own time. We have a new season of ranked beginning. It doesn't sound like they've made any changes with regards to it being FPP, so it sounds like TPP ranked is the only option still. It doesn't have the normal list of servers and game modes that you sometimes see, so I'm assuming that what we have on EU and NA is unchanged at the moment, so that'd be ranked squads only, TPP for EU certainly, and then I guess there's also probably only FPP squads in the unranked queue available for EU. I'm not sure what NA has at the moment. So we do see some changes to the ranked rewards, and we also see an increase in the loot spawn. So item spawns increased by 30 to 40% on ranked. So that's a positive change. It sounds like, I guess, map rotation is the same, so that means Vikendi and Sanhok still in ranked. We see the return of Paramo, as you probably already knew. That will now be available instead of Karakin to play. It is available on custom games as well, and Karakin is still available on custom, so you can play it in custom games. And speaking of custom games, I'm planning on playing a lot of them on probably Thursday and Friday this week. Normally we do them every Friday on stream, but I think because there's not really that much interesting in this update to check out on the live servers, we'll probably do them on Thursday as well. So there's two things I'd like to check out in custom games. One is playing a whole ton of Paramo, and the other is the air pickup thing that I'll talk about in just a moment. If you'd like to join us, anyone is welcome to play in those custom game sessions, so just come along to our Twitch stream on twitch.tv/thebeardguys from 1 p.m. UK time on Thursday or Friday this week, and you can join in the fun. So Paramo is back. We have the weapon balance changes that were mentioned in the PC patch notes. The link for the patch notes and the patch notes video from last week are in the description below, so I won't go through these now. But to briefly summarize, the Mini, the VSS, and the Scar get a buff, and the SLR and the Beryl get a nerf. So the emergency pickup we talked about a little bit last week, but I do now have some gameplay footage of it from the PC test server that I did last week. So I'll let you enjoy that, and you get a bit of an idea of just what the emergency pickup is. That is something that you can tweak the spawn rate of in custom games as well. So when we do customs later this week, we should be able to crank up the spawns of these things and have people getting picked up and flying in from all over the map. So it should be pretty fun. It's not, you know, I think the kind of content that is going to make me think Season 11 is amazing, and it's all been worth the wait, but it is a cool little feature, and I'm looking forward to trying it out, particularly in squads. I've only really done it as a solo so far, and it's quite fun for coming in late to the circle, for getting onto areas that you can't normally get on top of. as you can see in the footage. So I think there's a lot of fun uses for it, particularly probably in custom games, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out a little bit further. The emergency pickup is basically a big bag that you can find laying about, and then you deploy it, it pops up this balloon, and then a big old plane comes along and picks up the balloon and pulls you away into the sky, and you can then parachute down from it. It'll fly you towards the center of the circle, and you can jump off whenever you want and parachute your way down. So the wheel widget feature is a new addition to the game for controller. It actually works for controller on PC, which is what we are looking at now. And it's gonna add this little pop-up box that will help you pick items from your med list. It will help you pick items from your throwables, and it's also designed to try and help you quick scroll through your scopes. So the way this works, we'll cover meds first. So in order to use your meds, you used to be able to tap down on the D-pad and then scroll through your meds at the bottom. But with this, when you press down on the D-pad now with a tap, it will bring up this menu. You can then scroll through that with RB and LB, select the med you want to use, and then just press A in order to use it. You can still hold down on the D-pad in order to use the last selected thing. So if I select the energy drink and then hold down on the D-pad, he'll keep trying to take an energy drink. This is a nice little feature, definitely on board with this, although I would recommend, to be honest, using your custom key bindings to just set up hotkeys in order to use your meds anyway. It's going to be quicker than using this system, but it is a nice addition. If you go into your controller settings and use a custom setup on console, you can actually make it so you can just press LB and A or LB and B, etc. to just instantly use certain meds. So I'd recommend setting that up. And if you've got any questions about that system in particular, then just jump over to our Twitch stream and ask me about my setup there. I'll also put a link down below in the description to my latest settings video where I talk about all of my hotkeys that I've set up that allow me to use meds and pick throwables quickly without having to use this wheel widget or scroll through them. So that's the med widget. I can see that being fairly useful if you don't use the hotkeys, and it gives you a nice bit of visibility as well. A lot of people often ask me over the years why I always open my menu to use meds, which I do a lot of the time, rather than using my hotkey or using down on the D-pad. And the answer is it's often nice to just have visibility on what I'm using. And I also, to be honest, find it quicker because with the old system of tapping down on the D-pad, you could often just scroll past the med you were trying to select and then end up having to go through the whole list again. Whereas if I just hit this, I can select these very quickly and I get visibility on what med I'm using. So this thing gives you that visibility. I think it's a nice little feature, and I think players are going to enjoy it. Now, moving on from that, we'll have a little look at the scope one, which is the other one I think players are going to find very useful. If you now hold up on the D-pad whilst ADSing, you'll see this menu pop up, and you can then move out of ADS, and you can just kind of run around. You don't have to hold anything down, and this brings up a list of all the scopes in your inventory. You can scroll through them and stick a different one on your gun. So we can put my 3X on my M4 here, and then we can ADS in again and select a 2X. So it's a nice little feature. I feel a little bit clunky using it at the moment, but I think once you get used to it, it could possibly be quite useful. It's just trying to decide whether you feel like you can do that more quickly than you can do that. I do have a lot of scopes in my inventory at the moment, which probably doesn't, help things, but you can select all your different things and just change through. So I think with a bit of muscle memory, this could be quite a handy little thing. If I get rid of maybe some of these things, so let's have just the red dot and the 3X and then see how that is. So we have just the red dot and we want to switch the 3X on, and then we want to switch the red dot on. So it's probably going to be a touch quicker than going inventory. It's not instantaneous, but it is probably going to be a little bit better. And you can do that with your other gun as well. So yeah, it's a nice little feature, and I think with a bit of practice, players could find that pretty useful. Now, the final thing they've added with this wheel is the one that I think is going to annoy players the most, and they've done the same thing for throwables. The issue with this is that what they've done is rather than making the menu hold to pop it up, it's actually just pressing your throwable button now brings up this menu. So if you tap right on the D-pad, which we've all been doing for the last 3, 4 years to select a throwable, that will no longer select a throwable. That will bring up this menu. So instead, if you want to throw a throwable, you have to hold right on the D-pad and you will then get your throwable out. Now, I can see this being an issue for a lot of players. It doesn't feel well thought out, to be honest. It doesn't seem like they asked anyone who's ever played on a controller what they thought might be a good idea, because I feel like anyone would tell you that they'd rather have hold on the D-pad to bring up the menu and then tap to bring out your grenade. Hopefully, this is some feedback they listen to. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments what you think about this change, but certainly I feel like hold to get up the menu would be a much better functionality. The menu itself is nice. Have the little scrollable thing. I'm down. I like that. But to have the tap now not bring out a throwable, I think is a really, really poor change. So hopefully they'll add some customization there, or at least revert the change or make it a different button. So those are the changes coming to PUBG on console for update 11.1. There are also some new items coming to the store if you're interested in skins and that kind of stuff. As always, if you fancy adding our PUBG creator code, that's a really great way to support the channel. If you buy stuff in game, you can add our creator code to your PUBG account one time only, and then when you buy things in PUBG, they'll just give us some free money. So if you do fancy doing that, I'll put a link down below. You just have to go to accounts.pubg.com and sign in there, link your account, and select the code TheBeardGuys. Big thank you to everybody who's already done that. Over 700 people already have, which is absolutely crazy. So thank you. You are all legends. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to come along to the live stream on Thursday and Friday to check out some PUBG customs on the new update. And I will see you next time.